Hello again, it's Glenn Walford here with another episode of the Franchise Everything podcast, where we talk about everything and anything franchising. And today I'm joined by another co-founder of City Cave by the name of Jeremy Hassell. How you doing, Jeremy?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You're at the Franchising Expo as well, and I know you just finished a talk on the City Cave journey. How did that go?
Yeah, really good. I mean, it's always nerve-wracking. I'm coming from a different background altogether. I was never very good at public speaking, so I've been thrust into the limelight, and you just got to perform, I guess.
Yeah, you did. No, you did great, mate. It's a tough crowd here because there's so much happening all around us, even as we're doing this podcast here now.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
people walking past, and there's a lot of noise and background noise. So, it can be a bit of a challenge, mate. But well done. I saw it. So today we're going to talk quickly about the City Cave franchise business model and just break that down a little bit into a few key areas and factors that we really want to uncover and talk about the business. And I know one that you were talking on and we were talking off camera about is the fact that a key thing for you now is that you were previously the industry for your health and wellness niche that you're in. And if you explain a little bit what City Cave is, of course, and now you've got all these others coming into the market that is helping raise you as well. So can you touch a little bit on that? Yeah.
So, I mean, we're a wellness center, a wellness concept. We do flotation therapy, infrared sauna and massage. And I think that for the last, we've been franchising now for coming up to 6 years. And
it's gone fast.
Yeah, it has gone fast. We have 74, nearly 80 locations at the end of this month. But at that period of time when we started, we were really the only ones. I think there was one other franchise system. There was a handful of float centers around, and wellness was new. You know, people were interested in it. They didn't know what it was. They can't really articulate it. And I think now what's happened is there's a lot of competitive landscape. I mean, we're the biggest and we're growing the fastest. We're at 74 locations, which is a real key advantage. But I think another advantage of having competitors in the space is, one, it puts us on our game. You know, we need to shape shift and innovate and come up with new things, but also they foot the bill for educating the market. So it's not just us anymore. It helps the
consumers, doesn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you worry at all about, as you know, the leader of the business, does it worry you at all about, geez, we've got this concept and everything that's growing and our competitors coming in, and it makes you want to go faster? How does your mindset approach that?
I can't be worried about that. If I was worried about that, if I'm looking over my shoulder, you know, I could crash at what's right in front of me. So it's, for me, I think we focus on what we do and we do it as well as we can. And no one else, like, I'm not special, right? So if other people have done this before, there's a way through, and we can lean on experts and our advisors to give us some advice on how to get through these times. But the reality is it's not scary because it's been done before. Yeah. And we're just doing it in the wellness space.
Yeah. So, and another thing you do is you build your own float tanks, don't they? Can you talk through that technology and how that happened? Because you're ex-trades by trade, weren't you? Yeah. Building sites and everything. So how did you come across it? What were the first incarnations of it? And so how does it all work?
Typically, and it's so bizarre because in 62 years, no one developed a different type of float tank. They all seem to be the same cabin or pod style thing. So
claustrophobic pods.
Yeah, some people used to call them a salty coffin, and some of them look like a morgue, like you're literally
Sounds
stepping.
Very appealing. Yeah,
I know.
Very appealing.
But we knew that there was a big market of ours that were women. It's about 76% women, and of those 76%, 46% of women are claustrophobic. So we had to come up with a concept to remove the lid so that we made it appealing to everyone who wanted to try it.
So it used to be like a capsule, didn't it?
They were capsules, yeah. And when we first started, we had 2 capsules, and then we ended up with 2 open float pools at the same time. And just purely through popularity, the float pools became the obvious choice. Plus, we do couples floating in there. It's the size of a double bed, so people can go in there together. It's a different experience. You're not going out for dinner and getting drunk. It's, you're going to look and foster your health. It's kind of like a new thing. Yeah. And that seems to work really, really well.
Yeah, I know the ones because we did a filming thing in it a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
One of those. And I think we took the camera in there, and unawares, that camera after we finished was full of salt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it survived. Which is,
I was going to say, sorry about that.
I didn't call you about it. So how did you go about building them? How did you design it? So you just decided we've got to do this better?
Yeah.
So how do you do
it? With a lot of challenges. It took us, we're still developing our product today.
It's your tech, so it's proprietary to you.
Yeah. So we're still developing the product today. It's 8 years and still development. Should we pause?
No, keep going.
Oh,
don't worry about it. We just keep going over it. The sound is so good, mate. Just keep rolling.
Oh, is it that good?
Yeah, it's that good. So that technology that you developed?
Yeah, so we I mean, over the years it's been developing, but at the very beginning, in the primitive state of the brand, we used to have cords. Like we would almost imagine it like a long AUX cable all the way from the float pool all the way to the front desk with a dial like a DJ, and we would turn it up and down.
What, the heat?
And no, the music.
Oh, the music. Okay.
And so we had the on
I thought
the
you were talking about
screen.
the PowerPoint. I think power and water.
We would have
good.
YouTube going, and then we would turn up. Oh, float pool 3 wants 10 minutes of music and 10 minutes at the end. This one has music the whole time, and the amount of times we stuffed that up. So we had to come up with a system that was, closer. So we did that, and we were able to build it into a tablet with a speaker and amplifying system that was in a pump room.
Yep.
The second thing, our pump rooms used to be in the room, and it was unsightly, obviously.
What are the pub rooms? What's that mean, sorry?
The pumps for the actual float pool themselves. They used to be inside the room in a little box. We had to get rid of those because it was unsightly, and we could manage all of the salt content because it's so corrosive. It would ruin the entire room. So if we managed to get that out of the room, then we've got a better chance at containing all of the salt. Giving away my IP here.
Yeah, don't give too much away. We won't show any pictures.
And then the underheating and the top heating was probably the last piece of that we needed to develop quickly. We used to have old heaters on the wall, but we used infrared heat, and it managed the temperature of the water and the air at the right temperature for us. So there's a lot of different things in development that we had to put together in order to get it to work and function the way that it would in a capsule. So it did take a lot of time.
So you haven't done all this obviously alone. Even you and Tim, you haven't done this by yourself. So you've had a lot of. I remember meeting you early on. You would always talk about a lot of mentoring and guidance and all that sort of stuff there. So you've been a big mentor type person for years.
Yes.
I remember vividly meeting you first time. You telling me about the mentorships and everything that you had. So talk us through the leadership team and everything you have, because I know you're doing the US, you've got New Zealand going on, and you guys are all over the place. So how's it all working out and laying out as far as the business goes?
I think first and foremost, the actual reason why we use mentors is because we've always been the dumbest people in the room. We don't.
That's very harsh.
Yeah, but I've never done franchising. I've never done business. I've never done wellness. Like, there's a lot of things that I had no idea about. So, I was so willing to learn because I cared about our product so much, and that was more important to me than anything, is to get the product out there in the marketplace so that people could get their life back, right? So we had to use mentors. So it was just a natural thing that I was attracted to. And over the years, we've managed to get some really amazing mentors. We've got Suzanne Greco over in the United States. She's a part of our business over there. Dustin Hanson from InExpress. He's on the board of the IFA. He's fantastic.
And Susan's experience is Subway, isn't it?
Yeah, ex-CEO of Subway Global and sister to the founder. So, some really good, long-standing family franchise businesses that have seen it all and have made lots of mistakes as well. And that's why we love them, because they go, oh, don't do that. We tried this. Don't do that. And no one's perfect, and we haven't been in our journey, and we try our absolute best. But the mentors are the one that at least guide us in the right direction so we don't sail into the wrong water.
And I know from having a little bit to do with you in past, the culture of business is a big part of, you talk about that a lot. Mentors and culture is what you talk about most, I reckon, even more than float tanks.
Yeah.
So how have you developed that culture in the business? Because I know that's a key strength of the City Cave franchise. How have you developed that culture? Because I recall through COVID, you guys putting a lot of content out there and we did some content with you during that of, wine and cheese nights in webinars and group catch-ups online with your franchisees. So how important is culture to what you do and especially in your path going forward?
I'll tell you why culture is so important is because I'm bloody selfish and I don't want to get up every day and do something I don't like. And if a culture was bad and I go to work and everyone sucks, and the franchise owners and the relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee is torn, there's no communication, that's not the type of business or place that I want to be. So culture's actually probably more of a core value of mine than it is something that we try and implement in our business. Like, it's because I want to have fun doing things that sometimes suck or that sometimes are hard. I want to do it with people that matter and that I care about. And the only way to do that is through building culture. There's a lot of things. One really good example, one thing that I'm really proud of as a leader at City Cave, we had some work from home, post-COVID, the COVID hangover, everyone's like, I want to work from home the days that I choose. And that was great. And it was perfect for them. It didn't work out so well for the business. We had people that weren't in the same room at any one time, and then stories got like exaggerated, and relationships, the relationships didn't form as strongly as what they had before. So I was like, right, we're pulling everyone back in line. If it's going to benefit everyone to have a work from home day so you can focus, then it's going to be on the same day, because it's going to benefit the business, because we can shut down the office and not have to pay all the electricity to service half the amount of people.
Yep.
So 2 days in the office, 1 day home, 2 days in the office, 2 days home. So every Wednesday, everyone works from home. So we do a work from home Wednesday. You're only ever in the office 2 days in a row. It's a really nice balance, I guess, work life that you get to have. But it reinstilled the relationships that started to fall away a little bit, because people would miss each other in the night.
Just catching up and all that sort of stuff, are they, if you're never in the office?
Yeah. And then the last one that I love the most, we do a business update every month. And then every other week we do a proud and grateful. And everyone in the room, it's a meeting of our whole head office, even our American employees. And we sit around and we talk about one thing that we're proud of ourselves for that we've done in the last 2 weeks, and one person that we're grateful for. And it is my favorite meeting. Every single month we get to go around and I witness like live in front of me 2 people sitting across from each other saying, hey, I'm really grateful that you helped me on that thing because I was really struggling with it. Hey, I'm really proud of myself because I got that project done on time and I got to do it with a franchise owner that I really love. Like, those things are culture, and it's under the carpet, and people don't look at it, and they actually get to enjoy it. That's the stuff that I just sit back and I've nearly got tears in my eyes in the room all the time. People are hugging afterwards, we're clapping because we're so happy that we work together on something. Like, that's culture.
I know I said to you before this of saying, if we're going to talk about culture, let's talk about some examples, because I've never come across a franchise brand that doesn't say they've got great culture.
Yeah, right.
Everyone
it's a buzzword.
says they've got great culture. So that especially from what you're talking about at HQ level, from the top down, that filters down.
Yeah.
If they feel like that filters down to the franchise network, doesn't it? Totally. Okay, so what comes close to that, though, that backs onto culture, is selection of franchise partners about how you do that, because that can all become askew if you get that wrong.
Yeah.
So it's tough to get a CDK franchise.
Yep.
Can you tell me why and your thought process around it and how it all works in reality in selecting people to be the best franchise partners in your business?
Well, it's hard because I stand at the gates, and so does my business partner, Tim. We don't let everyone in. And I think it does tie into culture, because I don't want to be in a business that I don't want to spend time with people that I enjoy spending time with. So if I can't have a beer with some of our franchisees, or share a juice or go over to their house and have dinner, then they're probably not the type of person that would fit inside our network. And I was actually talking to 2 new about to potentially become franchisors, and they were like, what's your advice? Where should I start? And I know this is going to be unpopular with a lot of the people that are here, but just go away from brokers. Don't do booths like these. Don't spend $1 on marketing. Go to the people that love you. Go to the customers that literally buy your product every single day and go, this is such a great thing, and say, hey, I see you here quite a lot. Would you be interested in potentially owning one of these? It could be something might be up your alley. It's the cheapest way to market at the very beginning, but you got someone who actually loves your product.
Yeah, I agree with you. I say that quite often to franchisors, new ones who talk to us about marketing, about how they're going to grow their business and everything. And so, well, the number one thing you'll start growing your business is with current customers who already know and love your concept.
Yeah.
It's just a given, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I think people miss that initially, and they go for the big launch.
Yeah.
And they miss the mark totally.
And say your brand is that good, right? And your unit economics are that good, and you go to brokers and you market and you sell 10 to a bunch of people who go, hey man, this is the best bloody business ever. You have got franchisees on your hands that have no buy-in on you whatsoever. They've got buy-in on a marketing pitch, not your product pitch. It's a real difference.
It's an
And so
important
even
distinction.
if you get it, like even if you start selling the shit out of it, it's still the worst place to do it. Because the people that are out there shopping for franchises, which is good for a certain stage of a brand, when you have the systems and processes and it's not so heavily reliant on having franchise owners actually lift the brand from the ground up. You know, they've got to build operations manuals. We've got to figure out how to get customers. We've got to understand how to market. We've got to learn that these systems are the things that we need over those ones.
Because those first ones are so important. Those first 10.
They build the business for you.
Because when we were talking, you're at 17 during COVID, and that built the foundation, hasn't it? That built,
Yeah.
like Tim was saying, that built the culture foundation through COVID.
Yeah. And they built the business, you know. They were the ones that did the training manuals for us, that were happy for us to say, we actually don't have that. And they go, that's all right. What do we need to do? Because the next guys that are coming in probably going to need this. They're the guys. They're the ones that do it. And you know them well, and they love the product. And if they didn't love the product, it's easy to go, these guys don't know what they're doing. They're a bunch of idiots. Get out of the way.
Love the chat. Loved it, mate. Excellent.
Thanks
For joining us today.
Appreciate it.
And that's it for another great episode of the Franchise Everything podcast. If you really like this sort of stuff and want us to create more content just like this with people like Jeremy, please do like, subscribe, share it around, tell everyone about it, and we'll catch you in the next one soon.